Welcome to the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, I'm Michelle Risa, President of the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Welcome. I'm here to let you know a little about holistic health, which is what we focus upon at the Chamber. For many people, not sure about what holistic means, and it basically means whole, right? Every aspect of life, your whole life. So examples of that may be certainly what you do regarding your health, but also how you handle your career, your family life, how you decorate your home, how you use energy, what car you drive or don't, the doctors you go to, the vets that you go to, the energy that you use. So we represent at the Chamber every aspect of life because together we're embracing whole health. And we define it that way because we understand, and science is proving this, that everything is connected to everything. Yeah. So how I function in one aspect of my life very much impacts another. And so as I maintain all areas of life in my mind and give it my attention to create it in a certain way and take care of it in a certain way, it then multiplicatively enhances each and every aspect of my life. So we'll be talking more about that, and I'm joined by three wonderful members of the Holistic Chamber, so I'd like to introduce them to you so we can talk further. So this is Adia Tucker.
Yes.
Adia, welcome.
Thank you
so much.
Happy to be here.
Sacred Walker, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Nasima Deemer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So actually, I'm going to let them very briefly, before we chat, if you don't mind, just a few words about what you do. And please,
Okay.
Adia.
Hi, everyone. So again, my name is Adia Tucker, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I provide holistic counseling and career coaching, really paying special attention to the intersection of career and overall personal and emotional wellness.
Sacred, please.
My name is Sacred Walker. I'm the lead holistic clinician of the Kumbha Health organization that I run. And as the lead practitioner, I use art and ritual with a background in holistic psychology to really support communities, families, and institutions in transformational change.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nasima.
And I'm Nasima. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I also study and practice polarity therapy and something called somatic experiencing, which is a type of gentle trauma release. My work is called dynamic balance bodywork therapy, and I practice in Manhattan.
Thank you. So, do you agree that everything is connected to everything?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Does anyone want to, is there some part, well, I'll actually start by explaining it for me. Recently there was an expression that I have a meditation practice, yes, because that's what I am, I'm a meditation expert. But I realized my practice is really my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big change. Instead of thinking for health, I'm going to go to a yoga class or go do meditation or eat healthfully or go to the gym. Yeah, I think as a society we have a tendency to departmentalize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we now know, right, and you're agreeing with me, that everything is connected to everything. And so truly, I'm saying my practice is this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I am practicing this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right, and staying conscious. So that shift for me is very recent, actually. I hadn't quite, and I'll just say one more thing about this recent change. Through my life, I've had so many truths be told to me, and it's interesting. I'm finding that I can hear the same truth again and again, and at some point, it really lands, and it really becomes part of my life. So that's this example. You know, maybe I'm saying something that everybody has heard before, you know,
Right.
but hopefully this might be the time where those words really are digested maybe in their bodies and mind, and now it really spreads into every aspect of your life.
Yes.
What,
Yeah.
anything anybody want to say? It's
I
fine.
would agree, and I think a word you said really stuck with me. I think you said departmentalize. I think about it as compartmentalizing, and I think about a holistic treatment of clients as the opposite of that, the importance of not compartmentalizing. So one of the ways I think about holistic wellness or holistic treatment is not simply localizing the problem to one place, but really analyzing how all parts of the person are impacting that, what is the synergy there, and how all of those parts interact with the environment. And that's really where you can affect change, I think, not simply deciding that, well, in my case, this person is having career issues, let's limit all of our talk to what happens on their job. That is definitely connected to what's going on in their home life, what their financial needs are, what their work-life balance needs are, do they have families. All of that is so intimately connected with how happy or unhappy they may be with their career.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm
Thank
going
you.
to raise a question.
Thank you,
So
Nadia.
taking what we're talking about, how would you help people understand the difference between a holistic approach to health and the more traditional, and I'll call it the allopathic approach
Yeah.
to health? Do either of you want to just chat about that? Sacred?
I'd love to speak to
Nassima?
that.
Yeah.
Something that you said when you spoke about truth and when you talk about family, one of the specializations that I focus on is working with the LGBT community, the lesbian, gay, bi, and trans community. And something that I see as a differentiation is when coming from a spiritual perspective, for a young person or for a family who is struggling with acceptance and maybe having, excuse me, a heavy heart. And I've had clients or patients in the past who have felt rejected or felt like their family didn't love them or embrace them, or they even felt like God didn't love them fully as they were. Their church, they felt rejected, or from their mosques, etc. And so the holistic approach says, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to unpack that. And I'm going to really affirm inside of you that God loves you as you are, and also unpack some of the family dynamics that have led to that place. And so maybe you're feeling heaviness in your heart. And so if I were to go to a holistic or osteopathic, a holistic or allopathic doctor, I will, get the sense of, oh, something is aching me, and I may just get an aspirin because I'm coming in and out. Whereas if I were to take some time to do some unpacking, what we would call in drama therapy, some discovering, some offering, right, and exploring that, then I get a chance to say, okay, well, there's something deeper here, and I've dug into that. So in addition to, maybe getting some treatment, I'm also getting a chance to reimagine my relationship to my family and my relationship to my sexuality, so it can be affirming for me.
Because I'll say to all of you, and Nassima, I do want to hear from you, isn't it true that when you have one issue, it's not in that only about that? I mean, we know that about our lives.
Yeah.
So this is not really new information. We're saying, of course, if we had a headache, it would not only be about taking medication. Okay, and let's make that distinction, as some allopathic doctors suggest, take this drug, for it. Right?
Yeah.
Nassima, please.
It comes in my work often. People will come with, my hurting shoulder, my aching neck, my bum knee, and it's like that part of their body is somehow bad and wrong, and I have to fix it. I, as the therapist, have to fix it. And it becomes really troubling, and it's why I sort of added on these other therapies with my work, because I know it's not that knee is just responding to what you're doing in life, and often people don't realize, that the way I'm walking, or that I'm, wearing the wrong shoes, or, approaching my life in a really intense way, that my body is just trying to keep up. And it's trying its best, and it's doing its best, and, thank heaven it does, because you're still standing and walking and doing everything. The pain is there as a signal that something is off. And you can either choose to look at it or not. And it's not my job to make you look at anything. But I can sort of maybe help people get a sense that, first of all, there's a lot going right. And very often they don't notice that.
Good
and when
point.
you do notice what's going right, what's going wrong gets smaller and easier to handle. So it's really a balancing act between finding and acknowledging what's off and what's painful, but also finding and acknowledging what's right and working. And treating someone's whole body, which is what I usually do, even if somebody comes with a very specific thing, I want to treat the whole body and show them that, you know, this is part of a whole scheme that's happening in your system.
Right.
So,
And so that's what we offer, right?
Mhm.
That's the wonderful gift that we give to all the people that we see, and everyone who does offer a holistic approach to health offers. So instead of just let me heal my knee or let me get rid of my headache, right? If we, even if we used a drug to get rid of the headache, we'd still have the imbalance in our life, right? And so again, our approach, I will say, is less about symptoms, my knee or my headache, right? And more about the cause. Yes, which is really the source of our health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Do you mind if I add one other thing that
Sure,
I think is really
please.
wonderful, that I appreciate? One thing that I love that, you know, we're coming in as practitioners that are looking at like being holistic and also how we show up as clinicians or depending on our therapists, etc. I'm thinking too that it's important for us to look at also folks who provide care. Like if I come in and I'm a doctor and I feel burnt out or I feel overwhelmed or I've had a hard family life in the morning and then I come in, I'm showing up so much differently than if I had a moment to center myself, if I had a moment to have a healthy breakfast. And so I think it's important on so many levels, institutionally and individually, to be able to do the integration of holistic approaches of care, because I think that that'll also impact healthcare on a whole. It's like how people are served and feel held when they show up at the doctor, so much different if I felt held as a provider, you know, as well, right? Like I show up differently to my patients.
Absolutely, which is a perfect segue to talk about the chamber, if you don't mind, right? Because we have a three-prong approach at each of the meetings that we all attend. Acknowledging, and the three are, heal personally, to your point, right? Yes, grow professionally, and build community. So if you don't mind, we'll kind of just chat about that a little bit. So to your point, thank you, heal personally. How we each show up is so essential to, as you said, either the amount of sleep we got or the breakfast we ate, any one of a number of variables, right? And again, the more holistic the approach, the more likely, you know, we'll show up whole. And so at the meeting we take 1 to 3, 4 minutes to give you tools that you could use throughout your day, right? And I'll just say right now, I mean, we did it actually before we started. We all took some long deep breaths, right? We can do that right now. And exhale. And just so everyone will understand why something so simple makes a difference is our mind follows our breath, right? So our mind is thinking 1,000 thoughts per blink of the eye, and in order to slow that down, the moment you breathe long and deep, your mind goes, oh, right, I'll slow down too. So literally, 1 breath is wonderful. If you could do 3, that would even be better. But we're talking about neuroscience now saying 60 seconds is enough to have an effect. And more effective is little over a period of time than a longer amount, right? Let's say in the morning or evening. So I'll just say to everyone watching, just breathe 3, 4 long breaths every hour, right? Take 1 minute to do that. So heal personally is important, right? Oxygenating our mind also, which loves oxygen, really helps. Grow professionally, and I'm going to come back to all of you. We are really focusing on how you can obtain professional skills to really flourish, right? Because when we show up, you know, nervous about finances, right, or anyone, that can change how we show up, right? So we're dedicated at the Chamber to helping more holistic practitioners thrive, right? And we'll not only have speakers, some that you've experienced, but I have wonderful ones on their way to really give you practical information that you can immediately apply. But also we'll be building a business skill package that we will offer to whoever's interested for a month, for 2, for 3, we'll see,
Mhm.
so that you can really get more of that into your business, recognizing you're all excellent clinicians, right? And we, along with doctors, actually, are less good at running a business than we are at the clinical, right? And I'll just go to the last is community. At the Chamber, and I know some of you have given feedback about what we call our give and take or resource exchange. Yes? And what we find is, let's see how we can help each other, right? And I actually do want to talk about a personal experience. In this exchange, I got up and said, hi everybody, I need help with LinkedIn because I'm wonderful at Facebook, and I just want to say this wonderful person came to me for I think over 2 hours, and literally changed what I had in LinkedIn 360 degrees. And I've said to her, and I'll say it now, thank you.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. But LinkedIn has nothing to do with Adia's business, right? She just generously gave, and as a result, I will never forget it. You know, that she just came and was willing to help. So I'll open the floor back to either of you. How did you feel about the resource exchange, or any experience there?
Well, I thought it was unique having a resource exchange. It's different than, you know, selling yourself or doing your elevator speech. It's more like it's in that spirit of giving help and connecting through, you know, what your other expertise is, you know, or what you've learned in your day-to-day business workings. So, and how you can, you know, use that to help someone else who's also trying to grow their.
And in
Yeah,
the process, they get to know you and like you and trust you, which is how we build our
Absolutely.
our
Network.
fans and our connectors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I could add as well, I think that one of the things that I really liked about the resource exchange and even the whole third prong approach, the build community part, is that I guess it depends on your business model, but I know for me personally, it can feel very isolating to do your business, you know, particularly if you're a solo practitioner. So it's very helpful to be able to connect with other people and feel like you have camaraderie when mostly you go to an office by yourself. And also, I'm guessing that we're here and we do the business we do because we like helping others. And so the resource exchange is just naturally tapping into that. That desire that we have and what we enjoy to do.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I agree with the both of you. I think you spoke to community and also reducing isolation. So I feel similar. I think there's something about it that feels like a circle. Like I'm a proud member of the Association of Black Psychologists, and something that a principle is this idea of everything happens in a circle, and community will always hold itself and each other. And one thing that I appreciated, actually, I connected with someone who's going to really partner with how do we take the skills of Kumba Health and begin to make it clear and tangible so that those who are interested in investing in us can have a clear idea of what they're investing in. And I feel like there are plenty of skills that I bring to the table, but being able to find others that have other skills, kind of similar to the LinkedIn experience, feels for me like a very African-centered principle that feels very, very important to my style as a clinician and also just our business. So yeah, absolutely, that was probably one of the highlights for me.
Good.
Yeah.
And let me just take it one step further. What we're doing today is a continuation of the three-prong approach, extending it beyond just the meeting, right? So it comes from my personal experience where, you know, learning something at any seminar was never enough because I then needed to apply it, you know, to my business. So in this case, we're looking to increase your exposure so more people can know about what you do and the benefit you offer. So just to let you know, we have this show and more radio shows available to you, and soon print, both online. Actually, I have that just about done, how we can all get more published online. So that's one part outside of the meeting. The other is also to create community practices. So in addition to just knowing each other when we meet once a month, we'll literally be creating a very core group that will each help grow our businesses, as well as, yes, there's others that we refer, but there really will be an opportunity to offer your clients a holistic approach. You know, you'll know sending them to me and IU as how we're going to be able to do that. And third, as I say, the business skill package that we will grow. So again, the three prong outside of them. So I'll just, we didn't discuss this, but how do you feel about being on TV? Are you feeling you're getting some of your message out to people you may otherwise not have reached?
Yeah. I think a lot of people just see massage or body work as something you get in a spa, but it's something that can be very profound and can be managed in very different ways.
Would you like to share a success story?
Yeah, I actually have a client she wouldn't be able to tolerate massage or acupuncture. She had such a strong history that that just made it basically impossible for her to be in her body, and we've worked about 2 years to sort of help her manage the sensations and what was happening with her, so that now she's able to receive a little more touch and able to have a much better quality of life.
Wonderful.
So it's been profound, and it's deeply profound to work with people just about sort of how to inhabit this body, especially when it's seeming to be against you or betraying you.
Yes.
So
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Either of you want to share a success story? That comes to mind?
And I'm very excited about being here. I think this is such a wonderful
Are you
opportunity.
having fun, Sacred?
I'm having so much fun.
Good.
I'm meeting such wonderful women. This is very inspiring. Like, we're a women-led organization, so this totally works. As far as a really quick success story that comes to mind is that I co-created a play called Sankofa Mizizi. It was about looking at mental health challenges in Black families in particular, and the ways that spirituality and understanding your ancestral lineage can be a part of empowering that. And so it was a 12-week series. We went through the process with all women, and at the end we performed it, and it was so impactful for the community to receive. There were so many people that said, wow, their experience that I had that felt both spiritual and that also felt, for me, that were issues that were seen more as psychiatric, and there was a language that was a bridge. And then everyone in the circle was like, oh, my aunt has mental health challenges, or or I've struggled with mental health challenges, but because it was within a spiritual circle, it felt more accessible. So that for me is one of the plays that I would love to redo again, to see it done with other circles of women.
Please invite me.
Yes, I would be honored.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to share, Adia?
I'll just share something really quick. Rather than a specific case, I will say that I often find that when there is sort of a conflict with the career area, when someone is feeling like their career really isn't an expression of who they are and what they want to give out to the world, I often find it valuable to explore the concept of values. What is that? What are those person's values? What is their value system? What motivates them? Because our values are what make us want to get up out of bed and go to work. They make us actually excited. They make us feel like at the end of the day, I've done something that is one step closer to fulfilling my mission for my life. And oftentimes those get lost, and they also change. You know, when you're young, you might value income and adventure and travel, and when you get older, you might value security or family time or service. And so I think that's a very important area of exploration, and oftentimes some big aha moments can come out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you. And I'll just share, I love taking the myth out of meditation, where I hear so frequently, it's so hard, I can't stop my mind from thinking. And when I work with people and I finally say, but that's not the purpose of meditation, and they all look at me and go, it isn't? And I say no, because we're looking at building a relationship with your mind, right, as a part of who you are, because ultimately we're here to develop more of a relationship, a loving relationship with ourselves. That is really the purpose of meditation. And we begin that by mastering the mind, right, and not reacting to every thought we think or stimuli around us. Not easy, but with practice, neuroscience now tells us, we can rewire the brain so we can choose what we respond to and what we don't.
Mm.
So those are my aha moments when people go, oh,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
You don't need to give up on meditation, and
Yeah.
and it will translate into better communication skills, or better compassion and kindness, or access to wisdom and intuition. So, yeah, right? Our aha moments.
Mhm, absolutely.
Okay, so thank you. We actually have more time than we thought, so I'll just throw out to you, is there one thing that you would like to share with people? Well, I'll lead it with this. So I'll say to everyone watching, if you are interested, if you are a holistic practitioner, again in the very broadest of sense that we've said it is, which is the truth, and you're interested in really creating a financially viable as well as more satisfactory practice, and offering, that a more satisfactory experience of health in its broadest of sense to your clients, we're asking you to come join us. Yes, we meet every second Wednesday of the month, okay, from 6 to 8 p.m. And the location is 41st Street and 10th Avenue. Okay. Let me also say FICA, which is F-I-K-A. They now have, I think, 16 or 17 locations throughout Manhattan. They are wonderful supporters of small businesses. They're where they purchase their ingredients are from farms upstate New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, as well as, I believe, they roast their coffee beans in Red Hook, Brooklyn. I think I've got that right. And I just want you to know we're happy to be at their location and have them as our sponsor. So I just want to share that information for people who would like to join us. So in the 1 minute, what shall we tell everyone in this one last minute?
It never hurts to meet people and network with people and
Thank you.
get to know each other. I mean, it can be a very isolating city, and I think it's really worthwhile to come out, get out if you can, meet people who are like-minded, or even, not like-minded. You learn so much.
And let me just say about networking, thank you. We have a different way of networking, everyone. If you've gone to networking events where, in fact, it's what do you do, and have a card in your hand, I want you to know that what we do is really help you ask questions that will build relationships and will then absolutely foster the growth of your business. So even networking, we're taking to a whole new level. It's a new time, and it's no longer the old way of kind of hunting for business, but rather building meaningful relationships, which actually wave out. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you
So much for.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you,
so
Michelle.
welcome.
It was fun. Nice meeting you.
Thank
I hope-
you.
Bye, bye everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. That was
Thank you.
wonderful.
Great.
Really, really great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It was fun.
If you're ready to create a financially sustainable and rewarding practice while increasing satisfaction for both you and your clients, come to our next meeting and experience it firsthand. For details, go to holisticchamberofcommerce.com/ManhattanMT.